You know, in the tech world, clarity isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely critical. A single misunderstood report can lead to wasted hours or, even worse, a system failure. Today, we're going to build a toolkit for precision by mastering adverb clauses. Think of these as the grammatical tools that turn a vague update into crystal clear communication.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start by digging into why these clauses are so vital in a tech environment. Then, we'll stock our toolkit with words for explaining cause and effect, expressing contrast, describing conditions, and finally, for setting those really strict, non-negotiable rules.
And look, this isn't just some dry grammar lesson. This is about solving the real-world communication problems you're probably facing every day, whether you're writing an incident report or just updating your team on a project status.
I mean, have you ever gotten an update like the one on the left? The system went down. It's so vague, right? It's frustrating. Now, look over at the right. Because the server was overloaded, the website became slow. Instantly, you know the context, the cause, and the effect. That one little connecting word, because, makes a world of difference. And that is the power of precision we're talking about today.
So, what exactly is an adverb clause? Well, think of it like this. It's a little group of words that gives you the context, the why, the how, or the when. Now, it can't be a sentence all by itself, but when you hook it up to a main idea, it adds this layer of precision that's absolutely essential in technical fields. It's the tool that puts the logic and the reasoning into your statements.
Okay, and there's a really simple punctuation rule to remember here. It's all about the comma. Basically, if you start your sentence with the adverb clause, like in because the update failed, you follow it with a comma. But if that clause comes second, you usually don't need one. It's a simple rule, but it instantly makes your writing look more professional.
All right, let's start stocking our toolkit. First up, tools for explaining cause and effect. In text, you're constantly having to explain why something happened. Seriously, these words are going to be your best friends when you're writing root cause analyses or incident reports. But it's not just about picking any word. There are some subtle differences here. Because gives you the direct, often new reason for something. Now that is cool because it points to a brand new situation that makes a new action possible. And since is what you use when the reason is probably already known or kind of obvious to your audience. Choosing the right one really shows you have command of the language.
So let's see how this plays out in the real world. You're writing an incident report? You need that direct reason because the API returned incomplete data. For a summary, where everyone already knows the backstory, you might use since the system was under heavy load. And for a status update, you're pointing to a new reality, now that the issue has been identified. See how each one fits its context perfectly?
Okay, next step in our toolkit, tools for managing expectations. Because let's be real, tech is full of surprises, right? And you need the right words when things, well, when they don't go according to plan.
Just think about it for a second. You run a test, you deploy a patch. You're expecting everything to work perfectly. But something else happens. How do you communicate that surprise or contradiction clearly and professionally without causing a panic?
Okay, check out this comparison. It really makes it clear. On one side, you have the logical result. Because the patch was tested, the bug was fixed. Makes sense. But then look at the other side, the surprise. Even though the patch was tested, a new bug appeared. See that? Even though immediately signals, hey, this wasn't what we expected. All right, what about for direct comparisons? Here we've got while and whereas. While is kind of your everyday all-purpose tool. You can use it when you're speaking, when you're writing. It's super common. Whereas, now that one's a bit more formal. It's perfect for those official documents where you want to draw a very clear and professional distinction, like comparing two different programming languages. Okay, let's keep moving. Next up are the tools for building logic. If you're someone who writes documentation, user guides, or system requirements, then you basically live and breathe this stuff. These clauses are the foundation of clear, logical instructions. So, the classic if clause is really just a simple two-step dance. Step 1, you state the condition, if the API key expires. Step 2, you state what happens next. The application will stop working. Simple as that. Condition, then result. It's the bedrock of explaining how any system works.
Now here is a super common grammar trap I want you to avoid. When you're talking about a future condition, the if part of the sentence actually stays in the present tense. So you say if the server stops, not if the server will stop. That will only goes in the second half, the result part. Nailing this little detail really makes your writing look sharp.
Okay, but what happens when the result is guaranteed no matter what? That's where whether or not and even if come in. The system will log the event whether or not the action succeeds. This tells everyone reading it that the logging is going to happen, period. It removes all doubt and is incredibly useful for describing robust system behaviors.
All right, let's talk about planning ahead. I mean, in tech, we're always thinking about what could go wrong, right? We're building contingency plans. Well, in case and in the event that are the words designed for exactly that, talking about precautions.
Let's look at how they work. You'd say something practical like, save the old configuration in case the update causes problems. But then you have the more formal version. In the event that the main server fails. That's the kind of language you'd use in official documentation or a service-level agreement where you're clearly outlining a plan.
Okay, and now for our final section. Let's call this the masterclass. These are the tools you pull out when you need absolute precision, when you're setting strict requirements, limitations, or negative conditions.
The word unless, it can feel a little tricky sometimes, but it's actually super simple once you get the trick. Just think of it as a shortcut for if not. So the user cannot log in unless the account is activated means the exact same thing as if the account is not activated. It's just a more concise and professional way to say it. Okay, now what if there's only one single strict requirement for something to happen? Your go-to tool for that is only if. It's way stronger than just if. It basically says, this is the only way. There are no other options.
And check out the special structure here. It's a bit formal, but really powerful. When you put only if at the beginning of a sentence, you flip the main clause around, so it becomes only will we deploy. This isn't just to sound fancy, it adds serious emphasis. It sends a clear message to your team. There are absolutely no exceptions.
So let's do a quick recap of our new toolkit. We've got because to explain the cause. We have even though to show a surprise. We've got if to describe a condition. And we've got only if to set those non-negotiable requirements. Each one solves a specific communication puzzle, adding layers of logic and clarity to your work.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to take with you. The next time you're writing a report, an email, or even a Slack message, think about this. Where can you use one of these precise tools? How can this toolkit help you stop a major misunderstanding before it even starts?